MeTV 24 Meridian proudly presents your favorite way to start the day. Welcome to Mornings with Scotty Ray and Candace.
Each morning I look at that picture that comes on before we and go, who is that?
I know. With my brown hair. Mm-hmm.
Blondie is back with us today. How are you today?
I'm good. Doing good.
Busy afternoon?
Yeah, I got a busy day. This week's going to be busy for me, though, every day.
Well, you got to pack.
Well, I'm going to do that, I think, Monday and Tuesday.
10 minutes before you go?
Yeah. No, I try to prepare on the packing thing. But,
seriously, are you one of the type that when it's vacation time that you start a week out, or do you wait to the very night before?
Well, I usually plan on starting a week out, but I do end up waiting, not to the very last minute, but I like to have my stuff ironed and like hung up in a bag or like folded real neat and nice. I mean, but I'm going to try to really pack light because I'm bad about taking the whole house. I mean, yeah. Oh, I might need this. I might need that. I'm going to try to quit doing that. But anyway.
I can get by with a couple of T-shirts and a pair of jeans and just reuse them if you have to. You get in a bad situation.
Yeah. I'm going to try to do that this trip because I don't want to have a ton of luggage and all that mess to haul. So,
but you're going in your car, right? More room for roaming around.
Mm-hmm. It ought to be nicer because, then it was my husband.
Packed 8 deep in a Toyota.
And in that Camry. Oh my gosh, we looked like sardines back then with everything.
Couldn't see out the back window.
You couldn't. You really could not see out the back window. It was horrible. And
I've passed you on the interstate before, I'm sure.
You probably, somebody like me. Yeah, you probably have. And Alden is not a long distance. I mean, he does pretty good.
But he's a kid.
He's not a real long distance riding child. He don't like it.
It is tough.
Yeah, we got the DVD player thing, so he can watch a movie this time. So
I kind of would like to do that myself.
Yeah.
It was a long trip. I can do the most really don't want to do anymore is 12 hours in a day. Mm-hmm. And I would get up at 3 or 4 and to where the day doesn't seem as long if you got to drive that far to go somewhere to where you're there about dark 30 in the afternoon.
Yeah. It's going to be a long ride for us. So we're going to start super early in the morning, and that way, because I think I don't know how many hours. Normally I know this by now, but I think it's like 10, 12 hours maybe.
And before I say this, I have not checked prices. Did the thought of ever taking the bird and landing to where it's like 2 hours?
That's a lot more.
It is?
A lot more money. Yeah. Okay. I mean, it's a lot more convenient, you
but
get there
the
quicker.
Price.
For 3 of us to go, it would be probably insanely.
Yeah, well, I get that.
Yeah, so.
Just asking.
Yeah.
I hadn't checked prices in a long time.
I might I might attempt to do something like that if I go see Colton at tech school, but I don't know.
I'm telling you, when the guy I went to Los Angeles with back in the early 90s, they lost all of his luggage. Mm-hmm. So he was sitting in Los Angeles with a dirty T-shirt. Me and him had to go to a big event that night, and we had to go buy something because his clothes got lost.
Yeah, if I had to fly, I would make sure I jam-packed everything in a carry-on. If I had to roll it up, stick it in there. I don't want to have to do luggage check and all that mess.
And then you get into the thing of the carry-on, and you get up there and they go, "Oh, that won't fit in the compartment. We got to drop that below." Then they still lose it.
Yeah,
seen that happen. So just some travel issues that I'm sure everybody and their brother has had before.
Yeah, probably so. I'm sure.
Hey, I wanted to share a few things. We've had some pictures sent in to us, and if you've got a picture, we'd always love to hear from you of what you've got and what you've seen here. Let's see here. Here's a picture that come in. Let's share this one. Jeremy Barnacastle sent this in to us. And this is the view from Snell yesterday afternoon. Isn't that a pretty picture?
That is pretty. It is. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And let's see here. As we go over, our next picture comes in from Sasheen Stewart. A view from Bonita Lakes Mall yesterday afternoon.
Okay.
And I saw a similar picture yesterday that somebody said, "Boy, that's the cloud over Meridian."
Yeah. Look, it was a bad cloud. It looked like when I was leaving work yesterday, I called my mother and she hadn't Alden, she had come picked him up. Anyway, it looked really bad. I mean, it looked like, and the wind was picking up. I was like, it's fixing to get bad. But it didn't. I mean, it just kind of rained a little bit. But.
All right, we got another picture here, and we asked for this right here about if you've got an American flag, we'd love to hear from you. And Amanda Heiser sent in her picture of Old Glory from her front porch, and we appreciate that.
Yes, we do.
And if you've got a picture to share, we'd love to do it. And I can't explain this, but this is just a thing with Facebook. for whatever reason, on the public figure side, they will not let you post a picture. You have to inbox it now. I did not do that. It is a Facebook thing to where you got to inbox me with a picture. Can't explain it.
Yeah.
So that's what's happening out there. So send those. We've got some comments we're going to share in a moment. Let's talk about the forecast, what's going to happen today. As we pull up our forecast, we see that today there's a 40% chance of showers. And it's just really a wide range of when this could happen, anywhere from 10 until 5. But it's not big chances. Otherwise, we'll have some sunshine today, increasing to a 50% chance. And as we get to Sunday, it's going to rain again. 60, 80% through that. But
yeah, somebody yesterday on one of the sites, they were saying like for graduation next week out in Texas, it's supposed to be thunderstorms that day. I hope not, because it's an outside event. I don't know what to do. So anyway, I'm kind of tired of rain. I don't know about y'all.
I am with you on that.
Yes.
A few comments this morning that we've got coming in. Miss Denise Covington watching us from Collinsville. Also, thank you to Charles Coker looking up some weird clouds there. We appreciate you posting that.
Miss Thaney Stovall says good morning to everybody. And Joyce Godwin, good morning to you.
All right. Also, Megan, and I always say this wrong, Segovia. And also Ryan Borkin. Thank y'all for watching from the large city of Shucktown. I don't know how many are there, but we need to check into that. Salute to y'all. T. Roy is watching this morning. We appreciate that. Miss Joy Hanson Robinson.
She says hello. Hello, Joy. Milton Sable says good morning. And Bill Reinhardt, good morning from DeKalb.
The big city limits. I don't know if y'all had fireworks show this year or not. They used to at the baseball field. If you did, I missed out on it. I just didn't hear about it, but maybe not. Steve and Wanda McKinnon watching this morning, watching from the Promised Land.
Valley Maloney says good morning, and Linda Jane Lunsford says it's an all-day ride to San Antonio from Mississippi. I know it is. I've been there before, but it's been so many years ago. I want to say it was like 10 or 12 hours, a long way. Mr. Harvey Cleveland, he's watching this morning. Good morning. And Terry Carter says good morning to everyone. Sharon Johnson says good morning also.
I was looking for something, and let me see if I can find it, because Linda Jane didn't have something to do. Yeah, this is Linda Jane. I'm with her husband, Jerry Wayne. Jerry says she don't do enough during the day, and she has time to post stuff on Facebook instead of taking care of stuff around the house. But have you read this before, what she posted yesterday about your feet?
I have not.
Now, this is straight from Linda Jane. And let me pull up her page here, what she put here. It said, try this. How smart are you? Take your right foot, and it's absolutely true, it says. While sitting in a chair, lift your right foot off the floor and make clockwise circles. Now, while you're doing this, draw number 6 in the air with your right hand, and your foot will change direction. Now, what are the odds of that being true?
I don't know. We'll have to try it.
That's, yeah. Linda Jane, did you try it?
I can't keep going and walk at the same time. So that might be a disaster for me.
I have not tried that, but it caught my eye, and I thought, I bet there is a lot of people that have tried that. You gonna try it?
I'll try it. Yeah, I will try it.
You do the clockwise like this
with my foot,
and then draw number 6, and it says your foot's going to go to the other side.
Oh, it does. It does. Like I'm trying to do it under the table.
It is just the automatic.
Yeah, it does. Let's see.
She's boy, look at that brain straightening.
It does. It turns automatically.
So that is true.
Talk this morning. Yeah, try it.
Let's see here. All right. Oh, yeah, it did.
It does. It was just like automatically. That's one of those brain things.
I have never. Well, okay. Me and Jerry Wayne take that back about you, Linda Jane.
I don't see how people juggle.
Ooh.
I mean,
yeah.
I can't. I've never been able to do that, so I don't know. Anyway.
I messed up our feed where we were thanking a few folks over there. Where were we up here? Oh, yeah, up here somewhere around where Linda Jane was driving. Denise Burnside, maybe. The bad cloud cover over Meridian yesterday was over about Chris Reed by the incompetent Meridian City Council. I think everybody agrees with that statement there. Hopefully.
Sad day.
It is.
Sad day.
I think Chris is going to join us in the morning, and we'll talk to him about what has gone on. He's turning in all of his stuff this morning. Sad day for us.
I mean, that's a whole nother little segment, I think, because it would take us that long, I think, to
it's a deep one.
It. But it is a sad day because, Meridian was turning a corner, I felt like. And a lot of people really, felt like this man was a blessing to the city.
He's a man of God.
Right. As a police chief, I think that he's done a lot of good things. He's, for kids, for the community, getting people off the street that need to be gotten off the street, and it's really a tragedy, I think. I don't understand the whole decision-making process that went with that, because I don't think there was any kind of...
Well, you answered it. There was really not any decision-making in it. It's they didn't want it.
Usually you remove somebody if they're not doing a good job. And it was obvious this man was doing a wonderful job.
But there are times, and I've been in that situation where you're replaced because you were doing your job.
Yeah.
And somebody over you, not really doing theirs. And you call attention to it. They didn't want him.
I think we see a trend in this whole country right now, and I feel like this is just a part of that.
It could be.
I mean, I feel like it is.
But
it's kind of obvious.
We hope to that it works out to have Chris with us in the morning. He's had the invite, and I think he's accepted. So make sure to join us tomorrow, and we'll talk to him and find out how much fishing he's going to be doing here in the next few weeks. I tease about that, but I think he'll probably have something lined up pretty quick.
Right.
But we'll get it straight from Chris
who wouldn't want him working for him?
Yeah.
Or doing something. Who wouldn't?
The bad guys.
I feel like he's a blessing to a lot of people. So,
he is. Yeah.
Anyway.
Let's see. Good morning to Terry Carter. She says that today, along with Sharon Johnson joining us. Also, Connie Busby Shockley. How are you doing, girl?
Charlotte Grace says good morning from Philly. Margot Sumrall says happy hump day to us. And from her 9-year-old granddaughter and her. Let's see. She says she hopes it's a good one, and they're in Matherville.
Woohoo!
Is that Mississippi? Matherville,
yes.
Mississippi. Okay.
Matherville. Chris Reed, there he is. Good morning, my good people. Love your hat. So Chris is up today.
You're going to have to get Chris a hat.
He does need a. I got my old one. Let me see if I can hit this button here.
We might put him in it tomorrow. I think.
Line 2. There's my old one over there. And we also have a cord there that we hadn't hooked up to mic 4 in the chair. If you want to jump on that, just so to speak.
I'll get on that. I'll just get right to
Jan has turned down the opportunity to fill in for you.
No, she hasn't.
She did too. I talked to her this morning. She just cannot do it. Her husband's going to be in the hospital, she said, so she couldn't do it.
That's a good reason, Jan. Yeah. That is.
I thought she'd run out of makeup at first when she said, I can't do it. I thought, oh my gosh, I got to go to Maybelline and fix this. But
you might have to Skype her in from the hospital.
But we've got some great guests coming. I've got a school teacher that's going to be joining us, and she's going to teach us a few things.
Okay.
Joe Johnson's daughter. Whoa. And he told her that the main thing that she had to do while she was here, just keep repeating the name of his business. He said, I don't care what you talk about, but say my business.
Okay.
So Ashley will be joining me. I think also Britt Gully is going to be joining me next week on a couple of days that you'll be out.
Okay.
So we're on this.
I'm going to have to call y'all.
Yeah. Linda Culpepper says good morning as well. Happy 37th birthday to Cody Ellis.
All right. Happy birthday, Cody.
Yeah.
I hope it's a great day for you. And Miss Wayne and Dolores Roberts, how are y'all doing? I have not seen y'all in a while. Hope y'all are doing well. They say good morning to us both. And Judy Ann Cook says good morning.
Oh, let's see who else we got. Amanda Heiser there. Good morning. Yay for sunshine right now.
Yes. Let's see. Karen Palmer. Thank your son for his. Okay. I don't know. My son.
Your son.
I'm sorry. We've talked about several different people. Thank you so much, and I'll be sure to tell him that.
Yeah. Good morning to Judy Ann Cook. Also, let's see here. Good morning to Galen Bradshaw. Angela Dunnigan joining us from the Carmichael community deep in Clark County.
Miss Judy Ann Cook says it's a sad state of affairs for Meridian and our country, and I agree with you 100%.
Right.
I do. Sammy McGinnis says, don't skirt the issues, and so tell it like it is.
Yeah, that's
basically what we do here.
Yep.
Yeah. Terry Carter, she wish that, I guess she's talking about Chris Reed.
Yeah.
Wish he'd come to Kemper County. Yeah. T. Roy Ellis, he says he'd fill in for me.
Let's see here. Good morning to Pat Banks, also Jimmy Shockley, and Terry Shelton joins us there, and a new one, Benji Brown joins us there also this morning.
Yeah. Hey, Benji.
Yeah. And if you haven't told us where you're at this morning, we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah. we would.
Yeah, do that. As we welcome you to Lauderdale County Farm Supply, they are open this morning, taking care of anything that you might need when it comes to, well, apparel. Maybe you need a pair of overalls, you need a shirt, maybe you need some blue jeans. They got all of that there on the left side of the building when you go in.
That's right.
Take care of you there. And of course, any fire retardant things, they've got all that, including pine straw for your and mulch. Gosh, a lot of that stuff there if you're working on your flower beds.
It's that time of year, yeah.
If you're building a new house, or maybe you just never had grass to begin with, well, they got that also.
Yes.
Yeah, and this comes with one of those warnings of every day you got to go out and water it.
Well, it might be a good week to put some grass
Yeah,
down.
You're right. You don't have to use as much water.
That's right.
Also, still taking care of gardens and all the hanging plants that you may need for your front porch and all your pooches, your pets. Whether it's a cat or a dog, they've got this for you from great seed feed and well taking care of them there. If your pet's on a diet, they got exactly what you need. And we try to do our best to get rid of the fire ants.
And snakes.
Yes.
Yes.
So see them about all the repellents. And, of course, they got skeeter spray as well. From cookouts to well-worked boots, they've got that as well. From the Twisted X all the way to the Georgia boot, plenty to choose from. Seed feed, fertilizer, as I mentioned, and taking care of that horse and cattle and guns. Yeah, that's a thing in the South you got to have.
That's right.
Exit 151 is where you'll find them right off the interstate, the Lauderdale County Farm Supply.
Big trucks, they're loud, intimidating, and they'll run over anything in their way. I'm attorney Richard Schwartz. We won over $1 billion for the injured because we don't settle for less. Call me today and let me help you get the money you deserve. One call, that's all.
And a big thank you to Amanda. Angela Dungan says that her son thinks you are just so pretty.
Well, thank you. That is so sweet.
Yeah, it's very
Hope
nice
he has
of
a
her.
good day today. Tell him hello if he's not watching.
Linda Jane says she's too bashful to jump in here because Jerry's going to have her doing something next week.
Linda Jane, I think Scotty Ray talks too much about you.
Oh, Linda Jane is a handful. I've known her since I was an itty bitty boy. I brought this up earlier this morning about Buddy. And for those of you who are joining us on television, I thought I'd go back over this because it is a big deal in the state of Mississippi as we pull for this fella here. And this is Buddy. He's the puppy dog that is at Mississippi State. They say, I read the article, he's doing better.
He looks so much, even just in that picture, he looks so much better.
5 skin grafts to get to this point. They say that there's another place and that his eyelids have not healed yet.
Yeah.
They're hoping maybe at this point, maybe mid-August, he'll be able to go back to the Tunica Humane Society. And from there, they'll keep him a little while longer and nurse him, and then they will decide who will get to adopt Buddy. And that's going to be a big deal for Buddy when he gets adopted.
Don't you? I hope that he'll be able to see. Have they said that?
I do too.
I hope that when his eyes do heal, that he'll be able to see.
I think so.
Don't you know that's going to be like just a moment?
Yeah.
Like an amazing moment when they can take those bandages off and his eyes, if he can see, and all that.
But you remember the last pictures we saw there of Buddy when you would see this portion of it, right? It was just all black.
Right. Yeah. And his eyes were the same way. And I think as it heals, that must just kind of like slough off like a scab.
Yeah.
I mean.
So
Goodness.
prayers continue for that.
Yes.
And just what an amazing story. And somebody posted this morning when I put that there of God did have another little plan there for Buddy. He's bringing, a pet
Right.
just brings people closer together. It makes you a better person if you don't
Yeah.
have one.
And to these people who have been doctoring him, I have the utmost respect for them.
Yeah, I
Thank
do
goodness
too.
for people like that,
Yeah, that.
because that could have had a lot worse. I mean, it was awful in itself, but I'm just glad he made it through it.
I saw something, and if this will play, it made me laugh. And, as you stumble around on Facebook and things that are out there, and this was a video, and I'll set it up before I hit the replay button here. It was a lady that's going in to buy her dog a treat in a store. So she ties him to a post, she thinks, out front. She goes in, and he takes off. And those little wind feather flags that have sayings on them for businesses?
Yeah.
He's going down the street dragging it. Let me see if this will play correctly here. Let me pull this up here. Here she goes down the street here. I think she's going
Got a
in.
basset hound.
Yeah, and she's going in to get him, I think, a sausage dog or something like that for a treat. Okay, she's bending over, tying it down. And she's fixing to walk in the store. There she goes. And it looks like it's a post from this angle that she's
Right.
tied the old dog to there. All right, here she goes inside. And it looks like it's raining there also. And here it comes up. He decides, well, he's ready to go.
Oh.
And here he goes out in the street. He's supposed to take that. She's chasing at this point. She realizes what she's done. And there he goes. And the chase goes on and on for 4 or 5 minutes, her chasing the dog down the road.
Goodness.
But that'll make you laugh.
That is cute. That's cute. I'm just glad he didn't get hit or something.
Yeah.
With the car.
We've all had those puppy dogs that have other plans than what you have.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of dogs, our dogs are destructive.
Would they tear up this week?
Well, my plants in the flower bed, they stay in a big pen, and it's like plenty of room for them to be in during the day, and they get let out several times a day. But anyway, they go straight to my flower bed, and like, should I say, use the bathroom right on my plant. And kill them.
Oh, does that kill them?
Dead. Well, if they urinate on them, it does.
Oh,
I mean, it's
didn't know
like a spot in the grass, dead. I mean, it's just like, I went out there and all my little purple flowers that I had planted, gone.
Don't, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I hadn't been since you got married, I hadn't been back to your house, but I was at your husband's house before he married you, and he used to have like 25 dogs. Do y'all still have that many?
No.
Like y'all had a big pen in the backyard.
Yeah, we have 2 labs, and then we have a mix.
That's 3
outside. Those are all outside, and then we have one little
a
little weenie dog that I've had for
4.
almost 18 years.
So any more?
She's old. No, that's it. We do have a cat.
That's 5 animals.
Not my decision, came to live with. But all it does is sleep and slap you on the back of the leg.
That's almost like a circus with 5 of them. I bet when you go out in the yard, they're just.
No, well, they ran off the other day, I will say, and they were gone for like an hour and a half. We were kind of worried because usually they come right back if they run off, when he calls them. Well, they didn't. They went through, the woods. They come out, had these deer flies all over there. It was horrible. But anyway, yeah, they kill my plants, so is what I'm getting at. And I'm just kind of tired of that.
Terry Shelton said she wanted to wish her son a happy 13th birthday. We don't know your son's name, but tell us his name. We'd love to wish him a happy birthday. And Jan, I don't know what rock you've been under, Jan Bushman, as we showed the pictures there, Buddy. She said she didn't know what happened to Buddy.
Yes,
at the end of the day, 12-year-old mean little boy set that dog on fire. Absolutely nothing's going to happen to him because of the way the laws are set up in the state of Mississippi. He gets off scot-free, gets in no trouble whatsoever for that. That's the best way to word it, isn't it?
Imagine.
Yeah. It's
so you'll read about him one day in the paper probably again.
Yeah.
So,
it's just
doing something else.
Just sad, sad, sad. Here's something that has got a lot of traction on the page that I posted this morning. And I've never heard of this happening. Yeah. Lightning is deadly. It can strike you if it's raining, get inside, because if you get under a tree, it could kill you. Yes, and have you seen that video that floats around of the guy that's walking that, it's in another country. He's walking down the street and lightning hits him and he lays there for a few minutes and he gets back up. 3 minutes later, he starts walking. It strikes him again. I think he was struck like 3 times.
Oh, Lord.
God was sending that old boy a message.
And you should have stayed at home today, bud.
I think he lived.
I don't see how you would live through that.
I know.
Goodness.
But Toledo, Ohio, and my dealings with Toledo, Ohio, all I really know about the place is from MASH. That's where Klinger was from, and I always talked about going back to Toledo, if you remember that. But as we go to the news story this morning, they had a mural, and I can never say that name right, of George Floyd. And here's the picture here. They had it on a wall. Lightning struck the wall, and it just hit that and destroyed just the mural. For whatever reason, I guess it wasn't supposed to be there.
Goodness.
It's gone now.
Yeah.
But you can look that up. Just Google it, George Floyd mural.
So that was the before.
Right.
Is there a video of it, or like?
No, it goes into a different.
Goodness.
Of when they first painted it is what that video is about, because I watched it and thought, but it wasn't. But
I've never seen that hit like a brick wall.
I know.
Usually it has to be something attracting it.
Electrical, metal, or something.
It could have been through the wall. Who knows? I don't know. Speaking of Ohio, did y'all hear this morning? I just briefly heard the end of the story, but there was somebody had a kidney implanted in them. Like they did the wrong, when they were doing the surgery, they were supposed to do a kidney transplant. They transplanted it into the wrong person. Would that not be horrible? I mean,
hello.
My goodness.
Yeah, that's bad news.
You're waiting on a kidney. You're waiting, you get a kidney. And then next thing you know, well, it didn't even go to you. It went to somebody else.
Ooh. malpractice that's
I'd
coming.
hate to be on either side of that. That would be horrible.
It would be. Let's see here. Angela Duncan said her mother-in-law was struck by lightning. So I have to ask, she okay? Did she have any like extra effects? I even saw a movie one time where a boy got struck and they had these superpowers after that. Really? It was a movie.
Really? Goodness.
I'm real critical on movies.
Yeah, I don't like lightning. I'm not going to take the chance, on getting out there.
I've always heard don't take a shower during lightning.
I've always heard that too, but I have done it.
And then don't talk on the cell phone that used to have, not on a cell phone, but the home phone, if it was attached to the wall because it could follow it in.
Well, like landlines, too. I guess them being in the ground.
Connected. I guess a cell phone's okay. I don't see how it could grab you, but, stranger things have happened. So I'm not going to say it can't happen.
Lightning is a strange thing. It hit a tree in our front yard one time and, blew the whole, it was a bird feeder on the side of it, blew it off, went down through the root of the tree, blew up the ground where it went through the root system. Yeah, it did.
Let me show you this next picture. This is one of these things to where God's really on your side. In the United States, there's always a lot of training that is done here from other countries. They had some British soldiers over and they were going through parachuting. This happened, if I'm not mistaken, it was in California. He jumps out the plane and his parachute doesn't, from 15,000 feet, and the parachute does not open. He went through the roof of a home. This is from Daily Mail. And this is inside as soon as he goes through the roof and lands in their kitchen. Look at this.
My goodness.
This is the soldier, British soldier. He's alive.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm
glad he lived through it, but that would be horrible if you were in your kitchen and then all of a sudden, boom, somebody comes to
It's almost like that scene from Men in Tights. Do you remember that? Did you ever watch that movie?
No, I didn't.
To where the witch is praying for her husband and he falls through the roof on the bed and she's real ugly and she's like, thank you, God.
No.
It was funny.
I didn't see that. Goodness.
We got to have a weekend.
I know. I just need to make a list of everything I have not seen that Scotty Ray has brought up. I'd probably be forever watching it.
That's right.
Yeah.
So a few thoughts there of things that are going on nationwide. And let's go down and see what's happened on this date. I hadn't brought up anything that happened on this date. And a few things interesting here that went on. I didn't realize it was the first pension that was set up for a widower in the United States. And it was Mary Todd Lincoln. Congress passed a grant on this date back in 1870 and gave her $3,000 a year in pension. To make it on. I don't think Abe was very rich before he went in. He had a struggling law practice that, But anyway, they took care of her from after that. And it was a bad day on this date as we go back in history for outlaws. And, of course, you've heard of Billy the Kid, haven't you? Today was the day back in 1881 that Garrett shot him, killed him. And, of course, we know what's his face there, Emilio, for being Billy the Kid. And that's the original picture there of Billy. I don't think Billy was going to win most handsome. He was not the dashing, daring guy that they put in the movies there. I think he'd been dipping snuff.
He wasn't an Emilio for that.
That's right. Is that how you say that name?
Emilio.
And if I'm not mistaken, he's Charlie Sheen's half brother, correct?
Yes.
And then... Who's their daddy?
What's their dad?
Charlie Sheen. No, it's Sheen, isn't it?
Yeah, Sheen is the last name. I can't remember what his first
Michael
name
Douglas ain't tied into that group, is he?
No.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
What is his name? Sheen.
Charlie's daddy?
Yeah, Charlie's daddy.
Yeah, if y'all happen to know that, tell us. We'd like to know that. Also, another gunfighter died on this day. And this will come back if you ever watched Kurt Russell with Tombstone. Do you remember that? Where the guy challenges Doc, and Doc shows up and stood at the riverfront. And we're talking about Johnny Ringo. Johnny Ringo on this date was found dead, and they led you to believe that it was Doc Holliday that killed him in the movie, but he was found dead on the side by a stream. History goes down as saying, well, he shot himself. But back in the day, what's his face put it out there that he did it at the OKK Corral. The sheriff that was of the town. It'll come to me also on that. I'm having a moment of why I can't remember things.
Talking about Doc Holliday, in the movie,
right.
Val Kilmer.
He played that part good.
He did play the part really good. But have you seen him lately?
No, I haven't.
I guess it's throat cancer. And so now he doesn't have a voice. He has to use some kind of his voice is just about, if it's not completely gone, and he has to use that little thing to talk.
Ooh.
Yeah, I didn't know that until the other night. I watched a little thing.
Martin Sheen is the name that we're getting. This
yes.
Martin and Charlie, and they said they're full brothers. Didn't realize.
Okay.
And then I couldn't think of Wyatt Earp for whatever reason there.
I wonder why Emilio, if they're full brothers, why
The
does
last
he
name.
have a different last name?
Maybe it's an actor thing.
It could be,
But yeah,
he changed his name.
Isn't there a half brother mixed in there somewhere?
I thought they were half brothers, but
Yeah, I learned something today. As a kid, there's not a one of us that didn't watch this in some shape, form, or Tom and Jerry. Do y'all remember that?
I do.
How about Scooby Doo? Mm-hmm. The guy
still
that
watch it to this day. My son still watch. I mean, it's still on.
yeah, the guy that invented them, Jack Hanna, and of course they always put at the end of the things Hanna-Barbera production. Jack Hanna is the guy that created Scooby Doo. He was born on this date.
Okay.
I would like me some Scooby Doo.
Oh yeah, yeah. Casey Kasem was the voice of Scooby and Shaggy.
And
you remember that?
Yeah, done a great job.
Yeah, I didn't find that out till years, after I was listening to Casey Kasem on the American Countdown,
Yeah,
Top
right.
40 Countdown or something. You would listen.
Years ago, me and Debbie were nominated for a Country Music Association Broadcast Personality of the Year, and we got beat out by a guy named Scott Enos, or I'm Scott something.
Oh.
Anyway, and he was the new voice of Scooby-Doo that beat us that year. And
Okay.
he was a real nice fella. We hung out with him a few hours, but pretty, you'd be talking to the guy and all of a sudden he'd switch to Scooby voice and it was like, whoa. It was funny.
Yeah.
Also born on this date, I think everybody knows this guy, Franklin Graham. He's having a birthday today. So happy birthday to Franklin there.
Yes.
Also, let's see. You remember the song of Elvis's, I Want You, I Need You, I Love You? Okay, I'm not going to sing, but apparently you've got
Did they
that look.
remake that song years later?
I don't think so.
Okay, because I've heard a song similar to that, but it wasn't by Elvis. So.
But Elvis, and I know that one well. 1956, it went to #1 there. It was one of them big Elvis songs if you're an Elvis fan. And 68, of course, that was before I was born. Hank Aaron hit his 500th homer on this date. So went down in history on this date with that.
What year were you born?
69.
Okay.
And you come along, what, about 80?
I wish. No, 74.
74. So there's 5 years in between you and I.
Yeah.
Hanging on to those 40s over there on that side of the room.
I am. I hit 47 this year, so
Yeah.
I'll make 48. So,
Ooh, don't we all?
yeah.
Just another year. Just another
I
year.
want to live till I'm super old. Like, I hope I do.
I don't know.
I want to live to see my kids grow up and have, like, fully grow up and have kids. And I want to be able to, I would love to live to see all that.
But let me put it to you this way. Did you see the scene in the Green Mile at the end when he's holding there talking to Mr. Mouse?
Yeah.
To where everybody that he's ever loved has died.
Yeah.
And he still remains. And he goes, you're going to die and I'll still be here.
Yeah.
Have you thought of it that way? Would you really, everything that you've ever known, everybody that you've ever loved is gone and you're just left? Would you want that?
I wouldn't want that, but that's not going to happen. So,
I'm just saying.
I mean, I would not, that's just a,
Right,
I
but
wouldn't
you
live
can,
that to be that old.
you can outlive, and it makes a,
I would
think
never
a
want to
lonely,
outlive my children.
You'd make a lonely
sure.
life.
Yeah. I definitely hope I go before any of my children go, but I would love to,
And I
everybody
think-
wants to see their kids grow up and have
succeed.
families and succeed and have, enjoy your grandkids and stuff.
Right.
And right now I'm doing that. I'm enjoying my little grandbaby, and I kept him the other day. He's so cute. He's so sweet. He's a biter though. He's a biter. So
Biter.
he is. We're trying to break him of biting.
Change after grandma.
It's crazy.
Angela Dungan says her name, her son, who's having his birthday today, is named after the outlaw Josie Wells.
Okay.
What a cool guy. And that was a real guy, too. 1969, you woke up on this date, the year that I was born, and a movie was in the theaters, and it became a national hit, and to this day is still talked about. Easy Rider. And, well, I never watched it. Mm-hmm. You know why? Because it didn't interest me.
Okay. I didn't know if it's because Peter Fonda.
Was he
I guess
an
it's Jane
activist?
Fonda's brother, right?
I don't know. Mm-hmm. I know they're kin. I don't know if that was her daddy or...
Henry Fonda, I think,
I
was
like
her daddy.
Henry.
That was her dad.
Yeah, Henry Fonda was a good guy.
Mm-hmm. I want to say this was her brother. I don't know. So.
Maybe so, but I never saw the movie.
Okay.
But it was iconic. That motorcycle and that red, white, and blue helmet, I think, has been shown over and over and over. 1973 was an argument between two brothers who were famous, and it happened on stage. Do y'all remember the Everly Brothers? Hey, Bird Dog, Wake Up, Little Susie. Yeah. They were in the middle of a concert and got in a fight, and he walked off stage and never returned. They broke up after that.
Goodness.
So
bye-bye love.
Yeah, bye-bye love. They made good music, but they broke up after that. Also, another birthday on this date, and I think he was just in Brandon, Mississippi, I think this last weekend or the weekend before. Jamie Johnson has a birthday today, born in 1975.
Right,
Y'all are real close in age.
Yeah.
Super. I've talked to Jamie many times. He is the real deal. A super nice guy. If you ever bump into him, he is it.
That's cool.
A sad day for the world. In 2015, B.B. King passed away, and they confirmed. It was a fight with the family over this, where they were claiming that he was murdered.
Really?
And the autopsy come back on this date, and they said no, B.B. died of natural causes. So it all went away after that. But that's a few things that went on in history today that you might remember. Some of them you don't, I'm sure, but still interesting there of things that happened. Let's see here. When you get into, do you do selfies a lot?
I have done no, I don't post them. Like I've taken pictures before and to use for something, but like on a profile or something. But no, I don't just sit there and do all the selfies and doing all the lips sticking out and all that mess like people do. That drives me insane. People
really get into it. Now, this is the, and since I didn't share this picture, I'll just show it up to the camera. This is what I took pictures of yesterday. That's,
is that y'all's rooster?
That's Angie's rooster. I'm trying to hold it. There it is.
Pretty. He's a pretty rooster.
He's the.
Alden was telling me all the eggs that y'all are getting now.
She's got some purple and blue, and
he said the black chickens lay the blue egg.
I don't get all that. But when doing selfies, the reason I brought that up is be careful. There's a lot of people that do this for a living on the internet now that go to the edge of the cliff and it looks like they're going to fall. Well, it happened in Hong Kong. She was 32 years old. She was a big influencer. Here's a picture of her from Daily Mail of this young lady. This past weekend, she hung off the cliff trying to do that and slipped, died.
Oh, goodness.
So, like Grand Canyon visits, don't be hanging off doing that. It ain't worth it.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that for anything. I'm you know how me and you both agree on the height thing.
Yeah.
Scared of heights.
And I don't get into frivolous lawsuits. And I read this next story, the headline today is a frivolous lawsuit. If you will remember, there was a grandfather that was on a cruise that held his grandchild out over the water and dropped it. And the child died. They, in turn, tried to sue the cruise line for him dropping the child, and this week they come back in court and said, you can't, you did that.
Right.
The cruise ship had nothing to do with it. I mean, what are you going to do? Make bars all the way up and say, every time you pick up a prescription or a bottle or something that has on the back, do not do this while driving. Or there's some idiot that's done it. It's why it's on the back of that pill bottle or whatever you're looking at.
People try to blame other people for them not having their own common sense.
Right.
Use your common sense. And if you don't use common sense, then it ain't nobody's fault but yours.
But frivolous lawsuits drive prices of everything up because those companies have to have insurance. And if you didn't, it ain't right.
Right. It's not right.
And if we had more judges that would take the stand of, no, you're not doing that, get out of my courtroom, that's thrown out.
Yeah, we need more Judge Judys out there.
Yes, we do. And since you brought up her name, I know she's got a new show, but I don't know if it's premiered or if it's out yet.
I don't know. Because I don't get to, I used to, when I was home more, I would see her on in the afternoons. I think she came on, but and I'll catch a rerun every now and then. But she's a tough little cookie.
Do you remember? I guess it would have been her competition at Judge Joe Brown. Do you remember him?
Yeah.
Do you know that he's getting ready to run for mayor of Memphis?
Really?
He has a big YouTube following where he gets on every day and gives his political thoughts. Now, he's a registered Democrat, but boy, he makes a lot of sense. He's one of those, this is right, this is wrong.
Well, I mean, I've said it a lot. I don't think it matters what party you're from. It matters what your stance is, that you're in, what you're trying to promote to the people.
Right.
And how you're thinking on things. I mean, that's what matters to me. I don't know. Some of these left, people are way out there in the left, and and just don't think rationally sometimes, I feel like.
I agree. We had some comments there that agreed with you. Denise and also Bill Reinhardt said that Peter Fonda and Jane are brothers and sisters.
Okay.
Didn't know that. Also, all the way from Arundel, Mississippi, Gilbert Gaddis joins us. Thank you, Gilbert. Appreciate you watching.
That's right. Kathy Woodall says, good morning from Stonewall. And Denise Burnside said that we need more people to hold themselves accountable. And we do. That's the problem. People aren't being held accountable. And then when they are, they stomp their feet and get off, most of the time.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. Let's see.
Amanda Heiser said that her 8-year-old daughter thinks that Judge Judy is mean.
Yeah. She can be mean now.
Well, she puts it.
She's feisty.
To say the least. You imagine being her grandkid.
I know. I think I'd be like that though if I was up there. I'd be a Judge Judy.
You're that way as a wife. I don't know if anybody's told you that.
I've been told I'm that way as a mother, so I don't know. But let's see. Have we missed other comments? Let's see.
I think.
Oh, there's Ray Strebeck said that there was a man who sued a sweet cake company and won his case, saying that the sugar in the sweet cake made him fall out of his deer stand.
Dude, what?
Oh my God. Scotty, what are you doing eating sweet cakes? I done told you about it.
So that's to me is like eating a bunch of Little Debbie snack cakes and you gain weight and then you turn around and try to sue Little Debbie because you gain weight.
I thought the McDonald's coffee thing was crazy.
I'm still with you.
I just think you gonna spill hot coffee on you. You're gonna sue somebody because you got burned.
It's like a burglar breaking into your home and hurting themselves and them being able to sue you while they broke into your home.
Right. I mean, if you didn't have hot coffee, you'd be going back through and complaining because it wasn't hot enough.
Correct.
I don't know.
The things that go on in America that make you scratch your head. And truthfully, a lot of this stuff would be solved if plain right out common sense was used and the interpretation of the law read correctly. Sometimes that gets into the thing of to where you get somebody that tries to put words into the law that aren't there.
Yeah.
And
that's like in the bathrooms now. A lot of times the hot water doesn't work because they're, I guess, scared somebody's going to get burned. Let's make everything convenient for everybody so nobody has to use common sense. That way, everybody's walking around with no common sense.
Yeah, if it was
they don't exercise.
If it was 1869 and you didn't have air conditioner, you didn't have a car, you'd be thinking differently and just be proud to have the product.
Yeah. I mean, my thing is, if you turn on the hot water and you get burned, you ain't gonna turn it on again.
Yeah, you kind of learn.
Yeah.
That as the old saying as a kid, about sticking your finger in electric shock, they'll do it once, they won't do it again.
That's right.
I've always heard that.
Right. I'm that type mama that sometimes, I wouldn't let my kid get
I know
really bad hurt, but if you're gonna be kind of crazy and not,
but it goes down to,
especially if you're warned.
If somebody does something for you, you don't really, or gives you, if you buy your first car, you treat that car a lot better because you worked for it, you paid for it. Somebody gives it to you, it doesn't mean as much.
Yeah. Well, now my granddaddy gave me my papaw. He gave me my first car. It wasn't anything spectacular. It did have a gas pedal and a steering wheel, I will say, but wasn't anything spectacular. And it didn't cut off when I cut it off. A lot of times it'd sit there and just go.
Oh, like old Green does out in the yard.
And it'd go and just crash.
Yep.
But I had a car and I was thankful for it. And that's the only one I ever got given to me. And from then on, anything I got, I had to buy.
Yeah.
If I wanted something nicer, I had to work for it and buy it, and I just believe in working for what you get. So.
I'm 100% on that. And speaking of somebody else that is a hard worker and believes in what they do, that's Chet's Paint and Body in Center Hill. If you've got an issue with your car, with the paint, something's broke, it's not working right, this is the guy to do it. They'll give you a free estimate. You come out. And this is just many different pictures here of what they do there. If you've got a truck, this is one that's been sanded down, getting ready to be painted. If you've had one, that's a small nick, but look how great that looks there. Hopefully you can see that on television. Yes. As you go through this, cars that have been hit, they take care of those. Trucks, they can fix them back to the way they look. As expensive as a car is, you want it to be showroom perfect when it's done. Right. They can work on the aluminum beds of all Ford trucks. Highway 495 is where you'll find them. Here's one that had a little bump there on the front there.
Mm-hmm. If deer are not your friends,
yes,
when you're driving down the road and you've hit a couple, Chet can fix it. I promise you. I can just attest to that.
Because she's a frequent flyer member there at Chet's Paint and Body Shop. Yes. Of course, the paint booth there that they handle everything. This is the office. When you pull up, they'll take care of you. They'll process all the insurance work for you. And they're not that type of body shop that gets your car and then you don't hear from them for another month.
Right.
That's not going to happen.
And if you need a rental car, you can check with the rental car company. They work with the rental car companies. They'll bring the car out, I think, to you there. If you don't pick it up, one way or another, they work with them.
Yeah.
So,
free quotes. Talk to them. Right there to split the Highway 495. For all your paint and body needs, it is Chet's.
Big trucks, they're loud, intimidating, and they'll run over anything in their way. I'm attorney Richard Schwartz. We won over $1 billion for the injured because we don't settle for less. Call me today and let me help you get the money you deserve. One call, that's all.
Okay, I made a boo-boo yesterday. And we talked about that. We're going to talk about the Tiger King and his promotion that he's doing from jail, and somehow or another forgot to.
right.
So I saved it for this morning. And Tiger King, we all know this is the guy. Let me show you the picture of him. This is the Tiger King here. Joe Exotic, as we all know. He's in prison right now, serving a 22-year sentence trying to kill somebody.
Yeah.
But from prison, he is kicking off because his husband has run off. He ain't waited for him. Like when he gets out, there ain't no man for him.
Right.
So he's doing a contest to get a new
Like
boyfriend.
a bachelor type contest.
And so the
I
top
don't know if he
three.
has roses to give out.
Now you got to be 18 and you got to be a man.
Right.
He ain't interested in nothing else. With that, the top 3 applicants will win a romantic getaway with Joe, the Tiger King, once he's released from prison. Now, Joe is 58 years old right now. So you add 22 years to that, he would be 82 if he pulls his but you'll get that romantic getaway.
So if you would like to have a romantic getaway with an 82-year-old mullet wearing in jail for murder guy.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah. You might want to apply.
So that's happening in the news today if you're interested in that. I don't even know what to really say on a note on that. Do you?
No, I don't.
That's different.
Yeah, that is different.
Oh, boy.
I'm kind of thinking he probably ain't going to get too many entries.
I don't know. There's some people that, what am I thinking of, that think different than we do.
I wonder what his hair looks like now, because obviously it was bleached before.
Do they do that for you in
I doubt they're
prison?
bleaching his hair for him in prison. So
Yeah, prison life is not for me. I'll just say it that way. Sad news is we, and you have milestones in your life when you're a married couple. Your 20th anniversary is pretty big. Your 30th is big, but your 50th is your big anniversary.
Yes.
And a couple went to Idaho to celebrate their 50th anniversary, and they went fishing. They're both dead now. They were swept away by the rapids and were killed on their 50th anniversary. He was 70, she was 69. This happened last weekend, and condolences. This is a picture from their anniversary. They were getting ready to go.
that is horrible.
So no matter what, he slipped and was getting swept away, and she jumped in to try to grab and save him, and she was swept away with him. They died together on their 50th anniversry. It breaks your heart.
Gosh, that's so sad.
I know.
It really is. I mean,
So keep that family in your thoughts there as you speak to the good Lord tonight, because you know that they're upset over it, to say the least there. Let's see the maid in Colorado this is a separate one. We brought up one last week to where there was a guy arrested for having guns in his hotel room, and we said, well, maybe he was hunting or didn't want to leave them in his car. There's a different case last week that comes in from Colorado. They found 1,000 rounds, body armor, tons of gun in a hotel room, and the maid called the police. It's been a big raid on it, and it was right outside a stadium. So they're
that
thinking,
would kind of be a big old red flag right there. 1,000 rounds.
across from Coors Field in Colorado. And now they haven't proven anything yet, but regardless, at least it was stopped. Better safe than sorry. If they're innocent, they'll be proven innocent.
Right.
But 1,000 rounds in a motel room. Now, if you've just been to Bass Pro Shop and they got in the first box of shit, 1,000 rounds is not a lot.
So, did they arrest someone?
Yeah, they arrested the whole bunch. It's 4 or 5 guys that were staying in the same room. Sounds kind of suspicious, but they have not proven that yet.
I mean, you never know. You never know if somebody was up to no good. I mean,
You don't.
there's people that go and they shoot for you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
competition shoots.
well, even just for leisure. I mean, they just go
Enjoy guns.
They get together and they go shoot, and so maybe they put all that in there.
And that could
headed
be
to
it.
do something like that. You never know. You never know.
So
But
hopefully it was nothing bad, and it's a misunderstanding, we hope. If it was a bad thing, thank goodness it was stopped.
You can't be too safe.
And another thing, I read up on this story, Candace, and I think you can attest to this. If people that you watch on the internet are sometimes fictitious. They make up stories to try to get money out of you. And it was this goes back a few years ago. It was a mother who was 44 who was diagnosed with cancer, and she got to following this Instagram lady. That gave all this advice, and she told her that she needed to quit taking chemo, that she had this great way here to be cured from cancer the natural way. So the lady stops taking her chemo treatments and starts listening to this. It turns out the lady was a fake. And she says that she feels like such an idiot to being sucked into this scheme out there.
Yeah.
Watch all of this stuff. There was a lot of people at the beginning of the COVID thing that had these miracle cures that you could buy, and it was all fake.
It's so sad when people play on other people's like weak emotions, because when you're sick or something, I mean, that's a weak time for you.
It is.
I'm sure people would love to think that there's something better and that's not going to make them as sick and stuff like that to take. That's so sad though when people play on people like that.
And then the next other scams that are huge is the elderly, to where they call up trying to get Social Security money out of people that can't afford to give. Don't give nobody don't give them your birthday if they call
and say, we found a virus, because I've heard of this too. Of course, some people don't have a computer, but we found that there's a virus in your computer. We can fix it. All you got to do is give us your debit card. Give us your information. It only costs so much money. You can just give us your card number and we'll fix it for you. That's a lie. That's a scam. Do not go for that. Don't give anybody your credit card, debit card, any of that information over the phone. I mean, I just wouldn't do it.
Like someone called my mother about 6 months ago and told her she'd won $1 million, something, and she believed it. And they just wanted $3,000 to process, and she was ready to get. I said, "Have you lost your mind?"
Yeah.
So I had to have a long talk with her about talking to people on the phone, and they do prey on the elderly. Y'all watch that.
Warranties on your car, all this mess. I mean, I get tons of those calls every day. I get calls. Your car warranty has ran out, or we can get you a better rate on your credit card. And at the time, I didn't have a credit card at all. Really. So. I don't know. It's just, people are just horrible, playing on people's emotions, and scammers. They're everywhere.
Ooh, they are. The next story I read, I'm not saying the cop was wrong with what he done. In the heat of the moment, if you're a cop and you're arresting somebody and they jump on you and they commence to biting you, like clamp down on you and you can't get them off. It was a lady jumped on a cop that done this, and he punched her in the throat to get her off of him.
Right.
He's now been detained, and he's been placed on leave because of that. Somebody videoed it. Now, I'm not saying what he done was right, but I understand somebody jumping on you and you trying to get them off of you.
Right.
And that's happened in New York. That's a story that's out there if you start seeing that. There may be more to the story. I've watched the video, and that'd be pretty painful there. But that's what was happening there with that big headline this morning. So.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, to me, it's just a natural thing. Somebody jumps on you and lays their hands on you, you're going to defend yourself.
We look at these stories, and we go back to this thing of paying attention to your surroundings and scams. It was a mother that was 20 years old who was homeless, didn't have a place to live, and she got to talking to somebody, and he invited her and I think it was her daughter, back to live with her and a couple friends till she got back on her feet. Well, it turns out they were a gang. And they were going to make her, she didn't realize it by any means, and then she was attacked by them. They tortured her. They drowned her in bleach, shot her in the eye to join their gang. She wasn't going to join it, and that's what they done to her. She's alive, but in critical shape, 20 years old. And boy, I'm telling you, this world is full of some bad people.
Yes.
And not everyone is bad. I'm not saying don't trust other people.
Right.
Just be very cautious of everything around you. Like this thing that's going on right now. This happened in New York, and then this happened in London yesterday. Of acid is being thrown on people. Have you seen it?
Really? No, I have not heard.
A guy in New York, a guy comes up behind him and dumps it on his back. It eats his flesh off.
Oh, my gosh.
A 10-year-old girl answers the door in London yesterday, and a stranger threw acid on her and 2 other people. They're in critical condition this day. So be careful who you open up.
What I would love to know what's being done to these people who are doing this. This goes back to like, I think there should be stricter punishments. These people who are jumping on police officers or anybody, if you jump on somebody else, I don't care who they are. I think just because you're a police officer, you should still be able to defend yourself.
Absolutely.
I mean, just because you wear a badge doesn't mean that you shouldn't defend yourself. If somebody jumps on you, gets in your face, spits in your face, I mean, because this is why people do what they do. This is why the criminals get away with it.
Right.
They're just going to keep on doing it and disrespecting people. This is a lack of respect.
Yeah, and that's a great way
country.
The days of 1 Adam 12 are gone in America. Just and Andy, that is gone from our society now.
People don't respect people in general. Yeah. I mean, I don't care. It's just everyday people just don't show respect. It's a lack of respect. And I think it's because a lot of times it's not being instilled in them as they're growing up.
It's the family.
Yeah, it's where it starts. I mean, you have a disrespectful child, you're going to raise a disrespectful adult. Mm-hmm. And
tell them, Candace.
Send them out in society. Well, you are. I mean, you are. That's just how it is. So.
And I agree 100% with you there.
Anyway.
As we get into these, the season of hurricanes and things of that nature, and then come November, we're going to have, once again, tornado season again. Make sure that you're prepared for this. And our friends at the Precast Group, bumped into them at church Sunday, talked to Michael, and they're prepared. They're ready to get you taken care of. They're building these daily and getting them out. If you need a storm shelter for your home, talk to them about how affordable this is. Now, you can go inside of this and lay it out any way you want to, but the pure safety that's involved in having one of these to where you can go to when a tornado or something breaks out near your home and you need to go to a safe place, this is it. This is one here. This is it sitting outside there. Complete steel doors. Nothing's going to go through that. This is set up for a company. This is the type of here that is put in the ground. Several ways that you can do that. You can sink it all the way into a hillside, or you can put it partially above ground. Right. However you want to do that. Make it convenient to your door. But the main thing is being safe, a peace of mind. And that's what they do at the Precast Group, along with a lot of other things, from picnic tables to cattle gaps to building cattle feeders. They've got it. If it can be built, the Precast Group does that for you. Peace of mind, 482-0003. Be prepared for the next storm that comes through, and make sure you and your family are safe.
I'm calling about my accident claim.
Don't let the insurance company beat you up. I'll take the fight to them and get you everything you deserve. One call, that's all.
And welcome back with Scotty Ray and Candace. A few more comments coming in.
We have from the news unit. They wanted to know if we were husband and wife or brother and sister. We're neither.
Cousins? Are we kin?
We might be kin somewhere down the line. I don't know.
But no, we're not. We just we work together.
Yeah.
Candace is gracious enough to keep coming back day after day.
Yes. My husband is a friend of Scotty Ray's. Scotty Ray actually, we froze for a minute.
We're back.
But no, my husband knew Scotty Ray. I knew Scotty Ray though, and Angie
for umpteen dozen years.
Several years.
Did you know me when I had a bunch of hair?
No, I don't guess I did. I'd never seen you hardly much without a hat.
I don't like to go around that way.
So yeah. Anyway.
Not that it's a bad thing. I like to have a hat. That's just my thing there. This kind of fits into your world. We got a few moments to talk about this. The FDA has announced a new warning for the J&J vaccine after 100 reports of it being linked to a rare, how do you pronounce that word? Autoimmune disease?
Autoimmune.
I missed that one.
Autoimmune disease. Guillain-Barre syndrome.
Now, this was released this week. So that J&J, I'm not sure I'd want to take it.
Yeah. So
something to keep in mind there. That comes about. Let's see here. I wanted to mention Afghanistan is Uber drivers. We'll get to that another day. Somebody else has been stabbed by a teenager that's an Uber driver. We saw that to where somebody didn't get really any punishment for what they done a few weeks back.
Yeah, these Uber drivers. I mean, you're really risking a lot when you do that. I mean, it's kind of scary because you don't know who you're picking up. I mean, you don't know what kind of people these are. I mean, we're thankful for you that you do your job like you do and stuff, but yeah. There
was an old country song called K, and it was about a guy that was a singer-songwriter, moved to Nashville to take his girlfriend there, and he drives a cab every day, and the experiences that he encountered throughout. It'd be tough to be one.
Yeah.
Just somebody trying to make an honest living is what that is. And you've seen it from CEOs getting drunk, cussing these people for no reason.
Oh, yeah.
Just horrible there.
Yeah.
But that's sort of the headlines of today. We want to say thank y'all for coming by and visiting with us for a little while today.
Yes, thank you. We're really appreciative of all your comments and your support, and we love, doing this every day. And seeing you, and you're a blessing to us. And we hope you have a blessed day today and a safe day.
Send us a picture. We'd love to have that as well. And we'll be back tomorrow morning for another edition with Scotty Ray and Candace.
Scotty Ray's Weather is brought to you by